Hi. Since Anand is here, and so before he go back to Bangkok, I like him to help me to do these presentations. So what happened is this. After the April 27, 2017, the Chinese MMA player KO the Tai Chi player, a lot of myth in so-called internal art get exposed, okay? And the entire myth of the so-called internal power and so forth, or chi power, is like a religion belief. It is not what the Chinese martial art of Chinese traditional Chinese martial art teaching is about. So today I like to share with you on this basis on how things go wrong, and that apply to us in Wing Chun. So I want to give you the basic so that we all Wing Chuners avoid this stuff, okay? Because this is not traditional Chinese martial arts, and we want to let our Wing Chun go into a proper directions instead of chasing ghosts or living in a fantasy where even now the Chinese in China do not believe in, okay, and question in about. And of course, martial art is a technology. It's not religion. It's not about belief. It's about technology that you can make things real into this physical world. Okay, the first thing I want to share with you is this. This is the definitions of the Chinese martial arts, okay? So, this is very important. According to Chinese martial art, traditional Chinese martial art, which is based on General Qi Ji Guang, based on Sun Tzu, traditional Chinese martial art is a technology handling physical phenomenon, okay? So, traditional Chinese martial art is not a religion. Now, the following is the definition, today's definition, which we must know. The core of fighting is in the handling of momentum, as what General Qi Ji Guang wrote in 1560 and in Sun Tzu wrote 2000 something years ago. It's about momentum, okay? Momentum exactly as what we talk about in physics, in Western scientific way, okay? Momentum, handling of the momentum. So for example, he and me, Anand and me get into a fight. This is an exchange of momentum, okay? That is what it is. So you need to be able to handle this momentum in a fighting. That is the reality, which is recorded in Sun Tzu 2000 years ago and General Qi Ji Guang 500 years ago. Okay? So that is the core of traditional Chinese martial arts. Now, momentum or Si is defined as the movement of the physical. This is the physical movement. Okay, punching and striking or kicking is a physical movement. There's momentum. Okay. So momentum is defined as a physical movement. Shape. For example, Anand threw a punch at me. That is a shape. Anand elbowed me. That is a shape, okay? And his body is the base of this shape. If he doesn't have this body, there's no way he can go elbowing me, okay? So that's the second point. The third point, energy is the fuel of the body. So energy have two things really clearly. Number one is breathing. If he doesn't have a proper deep breathing, his body is not going to function. He's not going to get stamina. Okay? So the Chinese said, internally you train the breath. 内练一口气 is that breathing. If he doesn't have, Anand doesn't have the breathing, forget about it. He couldn't even walk. Okay? So that's breathing. That considered as one part of energy. The second part of the energy is the flow of energy, or the blood flow. You can talk about it. The blood flow, or the chemical reaction flow in Anand's body. That is what today we call it. This is what we refer as the meridians. The meridians, or qi. So energy in the Chinese sense has two parts. One is the breathing. That is the main. The second is the energy flow within his body. Okay? Now, the bottom line of everything is this breathing. That is the bottom line. If you don't breathe, you don't have stamina, period. And of course, you need to eat too. If you don't eat, you don't have the energy. And as for the flow of the meridian in the body, that is a more subtle of the energy. But in the martial art, the first thing, why people do horse stance and all this, the first thing for health and everything is breathing. If you don't have the breathing, forget about it. So this is the energy, this which is fueling the body. Okay? So that is the third thing. Remember, the first thing is momentum is the moving of the body, the move of the body. The second thing is body is the base of the shape. Without the body, there's no shape there. He can be ghost, but sorry, we are living in the human world. Okay, nobody died yet. The third is the energy is the fuel of his body. If you want to do anything, he better have that fuel. And don't think about the chi mysterious stuff. Think about in the basic dominant level, he's breathing. If he doesn't breathing, forget about it. Okay? The third thing, Jing. Jing is actually force. Force is the application of strength. He has to have the muscle strength in order for him to punch me. And when he punch me, that is a force applied to my body. So Jing is only the applications of strength, nothing else. These four things. So momentum, the shape, the energy, and the force. These four things. There's nothing mysterious with it. Jing, or the force, is actually controlled by Anand's mind, control his physical. Thus, he be able to use the strength and turn into a force. Be it pushing me away to pressing me, that is the force or the Jing. The entire thing is only like that. Okay, don't get into more into this. What the screw up of the recent 100 years is this. People screw up the energy and the force. So they call it Qi, Jing. And nobody would know what the heck's going on. They say, well, if you do this, you have the Jing, you have the mysterious stuff. Now, there is a serious problem now. Remember, General Qi Ji Guang and Sun Tzu said what? For fighting, it is the momentum, which is the bottom line. It's not that the energy, it's not that strength. And strength is only the basis of the momentum. If you want to move your body, you need strength. You want to punch me, you need strength. But strength is not momentum. So for example, momentum is like you drive the four-wheel drive. You know how to race with your four-wheel drive. That is, you're handling the momentum. Now, your engine be able to produce the force, the turning the wheel, to move the car. That is about the strength. And you have the fuel. If you don't have gasoline, you don't have energy. If you don't have a car, what are you talking about the driving of the four-wheel drive for the cross-country racing, right? So now, in the General Qi Guang and Sun Tzu, it said that in the cross-country, four-wheel drive cross-country's analogy, if you want to race cross-country, you need to be able to handle your four-wheel drive, drive it into all different scenarios, going up to the hill, going down to the river, and all this stuff. Strength is only to power your wheel. You can have all your strength you want, but if you do not know how to drive in the curve, in the corner, up the mountain, you still don't know a thing. However, in past 100 years, people get into the mysterious energy, jing, force, where they have no idea what it is, and they thought that that can be, if once they have it, they can be like a god, like in the fighting. Okay? You know this divert out from General Qi Guang and traditional Chinese martial art already. And people keeping promoting, oh, if you have this Jing and this Qi, then you have the superior martial arts called internal art. In the analogy of four-wheel drive, it's like this. Oh, if you have this engine and you have this fuel, then you can win all your cross-country race with your four-wheel drive. But then, hey, wait a minute. You can have your best engine. How about the Porsche four-wheel drive? You can have the best premium fuel inside there. But if you don't know how to drive, you're dead meat. So this is the problem with Chinese traditional martial art, which get led into the so-called internal art. Internal art, everybody concerned about, oh, force, qi. But you know what? When they talk about qi, the energy flow in the body, this heat and that, they don't even concern about the number one important thing. The breathing. If you don't have breathing, you don't have the stamina. How can you do high-speed stuff? We can go do chi sao, push hand and everything. That's why Anand is from Bangkok. You go check the records. When all this internal art guy from China fight in Bangkok with the Thai boxing, whoever win. Okay? And the answer for you can check in the history record, is 0. You can have the best engine in your Porsche. If you don't know how to drive it, the bet is off. Okay? So this is what we need to be careful today. After the KO in seconds of the Tai Chi expert who show in TV show that he can actually put a bird on his hand, he can sense the force and actually let the bird cannot fly and have the jing and so forth, banging at the watermelon and so forth. That is the consequence. KO in seconds by momentum. Okay? Because if you can have the best Porsche, best power, six cylinder, but if you don't know how to drive, you go out the street, you get banged, you're dead. Okay? This is the thing we need to drop Wing Chun to go into this bizarre stuff. This is almost like the boxer librarian. Oh, I have Qi Gong, I have spiritual Gong. If you shoot me with bullets, I can anti-bullets. Same deal. It is a kind of code. It's not what General Qi Guang, who fought the Japanese pirate, is in, and not the monk iYikKam from Shaolin has to, sacrifice himself to fight the Japanese pirate is about. That's why you never heard about it. Okay? If there's such thing, then iYikKam, the martial monk, don't have to die. They don't have the spiritual power or whatever to throw the Japanese pirate away. Okay? So this is number one. Momentum. Now, that is a fallacy. Okay, fallacy, a wrong logic in one of this internal art classic. Number one, it was talking about like this. He said that when one feather cannot drop in my body, I know others doesn't know me, and then hero have no opponent. He is the best fighter. Okay, because others doesn't know me, I know them. So if he referred to push hand. I know Anand's force. Anand, push me anything, push me. Whatever I can talk to you, push. Do anything, I can handle him. Okay? This is called the play of strength. This got nothing to do with momentum. And in this classic, this particular Tai Chi classic, when then he said that hero is invincible because I know him, he doesn't know me. He is referred, this Wang Zhongyue guy, he is referred to the strength play in the push hand or whatever. This is not what General Qi Guang and Sun Tzu said. The guy who can play different momentum is the good player. Okay? However, for past 100 years, people keep getting this out and thinking that they can play with this force and they can be invincible. Divert from the momentum handling. You get it, Anand? Okay, so this is the mislogic. The second thing, in this Wang Zhongyue Tai Chi classic, he said this. He said that on non-internal art martial arts, they all fight with momentum. But momentum fight is just the strong defeat the old. The strong defeat the slow. The strong defeat the weak. The fast defeat the slow. So he said that, okay? In all the non-internal art people or non-Tai Chi, he referred here, all style of martial art is only based on momentum. Momentum meaning the fast defeat the slow, the strong defeat the weak. Okay? And he said that this has nothing to do with the mechanics of using force. Have you ever seen the old guy can beat a few young guy? They can use 4 kg, 4 ounce to defeat 1,000 pounds. Okay? So in other words, he said that all you guys are external art guys using momentum. So you need to be strong, defeat the weak, and then the fast defeat the slow. And me, I can use this force. The old guy can defeat the young guy, and using 4 ounces of force can carry away 1,000 pounds. Okay, so that you see what I mean, right? Now, you know what is that? This is a mislogic. This logic have screwed the Chinese martial art for decades. And I make this video, and actually I make in the Chinese forum, I wrote down all this thing too. And a lot of even the Tai Chi people agree with me. This is a fallacious logic, okay? So this guy is talking about this. All this 4 ounce defeat, 4 ounce can carry 1,000 pounds like this. It's Anand, you stand here. If I am here the pivot, if Anand is far enough, he can use his finger. Okay, you stand there. So I can get long, okay? You see, as soon as Anand is far enough from my pivot point, he can use the tiny finger to handle this bucket of water. Okay? And you see this? Right? This is talking about mechanical advantage. And however, if I'm this close, then you have to use his whole hand to do that. Okay? So if you are like that, so in other words, like in the West, we say that if you have a long enough lever, you can move the earth, right? Now, so the mislogic is this. The mislogic is this guy who is in internal art, where everybody thought that he is the grandmaster like God, thinking, using that mechanical advantage just now, lifting with a lever or mechanical advantage, you can defeat the momentum charge in like that. Now, in the reality of the physical world, you like it or not, when you get into fighting, you get the momentum. When you get the momentum, Newton's law said, P equal to NV. Momentum is mass and multiplied by velocity. That means who is faster, who is heavier win, because it is if you want to crush momentum. And in Sun Tzu and in the Qi Guang, General Qi Guang, he said this. He said that if you can change the momentum, handling the momentum, then you know how to fight the best, okay? Or you are the master. And in Sun Tzu, he said that in handling momentum, that is like if he push me, I make use of his momentum, or I jam his momentum, or I lead his momentum. Different types of using of momentum, handling. This is handling momentum. This is all, however, all this thing is based on speed handling. Okay? There's a time issue there. It is not. Anand, go down there. You have infinity time you want. Okay, go closer. Yeah. You have infinity time you want. You can keep playing that. But guess what? When people do a strike, a continued punch, sorry, you don't have the luxury of this time. And you don't have this luxury, okay? If you are 80 years old, you cannot even walk, disregard of how much strength you have. If you cannot avert or dodge, you're dead, okay? No matter how good that you can argue that you have this long enough lever, you can move 1,000 pounds with the 4 ounce. Okay, now. So that is the facts of the so-called the magic Jing, the magic Qi and Jing. First, it get diverted into there's this magic mechanical force using. The second, it get confused and they add in this energy into this force. And then everybody thinking if they do enough this force and everything and this mysterious mind power, they can fight the best. Guess what? General Qi Guang in 500 years ago already said, it is momentum play. Sun Tzu 2,000 years ago already said it's momentum play. And even as good enough, General Qi Guang at 500 years ago saying, in today's language, I translate it to you. There is a long fish distance. This is a fight in the long fish distance. Yeah. This is a long fish distance fight. Right? Now, come close. This is a short strike distance fight. Okay? Another one going down, grab. This is the takedown distance fight. Okay? And then the last one is going down to the ground. 4 momentum area. General Qi Guang said 500 years ago. He said that we must mix all this together, fuse them together. So there's up, you can handle the top and bottom. Then you can handle momentum. No different than what the MMA said today. That is traditional Chinese martial arts. By record. It is not all this false, jing, mysterious, fudging stuff. When you do this, playing with force, that is an assumption which is we're not talking about. First, the assumption is the physical limitation. If he is 300 pounds, he has this big muscle on his shoulder. It's much difficult for me to handle that because I have a physical limitation. Okay. The second thing is this: anybody know about impulse and momentum, know that if the release of the energy or the release of the strength is really fast, it is such as when you sit in the car, get in the accident, you slam into the steering wheel. If there is no airbag there, you're going to die because it's going to release the time of the contact is so minimum and the force is going to go high up. That's impulse. Now, if you have an airbag, I slam into the airbag, meaning that my time of contact, the release of the contact is longer, and then my force is not that high, so that people who have the airbag won't die. Okay? It's physics, impulse. Okay, go into a momentum and impulse, and you can see that clearly. Now, when you do this kinds of stuff, power, pushing, okay? Guess what? This is a slow release of the strength. Imagine you go to Bangkok, you take a spear elbow. Can you take it and say, I'm going to do push hand with you? Guarantee that thing push away, it's going to penetrate. It's like what? Like you sit on a car, get an accident, you don't wear a seat belt, you don't have an airbag, you're going to slam right away. You're going to die, okay? Because you're a human being. So, all this push hand, try to have this force stuff is based on, you know what is it? Assumption of the force, the apply of the force or the momentum is in a slow speed, slow velocity, and then is not beyond limitation. You look in the push hand, the guy who is big, who is agile, who can use the mechanic, they win. But then if you send them to Bangkok or to Kyokushin or to MMA, well, you take one hit, you're going to get knocked out. Where is all this push hand? Have you ever seen anybody do push hand in MMA or Kyokushin or in the Thai boxing where you have the elbow and so forth? And especially when he grabbed my neck, he shoot me with the elbow. Okay? Now, have you ever seen anybody can resist this? Can you see that? Okay? So, this is the case, the reality we need to understand. So all this, a lot of this, I won't say all the so-called internal art, but majority in what we're talking about today is already divert out from traditional Chinese martial art, get into a cult-like of thing, believing that there's a Taoists have this power, that power. And that's why I'm constantly saying, if that power exists, why is 500 years ago Qi Ji Guang have to reorganize everything, including his army? Why is Qi Ji Guang need to study the Japanese samurai sword way of handling of the samurai sword? So, that is the bottom line. This is the thing which is really seriously we need to know, and don't get into all this Qi, Jing, and those kind of things. Qi and Jing, as what I explained. Think about the energy content is the first, is like the Porsche, the four-wheel drive Porsche. When you talk about energy, the breathing is analogous to the fuel. The meridians is analogous to the pipe which is transferring the fuel. Nothing else, okay? That got nothing to do with your mechanic, your transmission. And when you talk about the Jing or the force, of course you have an engine which is generate the strength, and then you have this transmission and gearbox and so forth to make the best use, the proper, the effective applications of the strength and turn into different type of force in your car. But that, even if you have that, like in the it's easier to see in this four-wheel drive cross-country race. You have the fuel, your fuel pipe is proper, smooth. That means that your energy, your qi in the Chinese say, is good, in a good condition. Your transmissions is good. Your your transmission is good. You know, your engine, your gearbox is good. That means your jing, your force handling is good, efficient. The strength, meaning that your engine, if it is proper, it is in good shape, then you have the engine there. Your body has to train, like as we say that the externally train the bone, tendons, and sinews and muscle. That is like your cars, the shock absorbers, and your platform of your car. So you can see all these things, the body of your car, your fuel system or gasoline system, your transmission system, and your engine, 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder, whatever, to crank out the strength. That is what it is. And then on top of that, you need to know and have the experience on the driving in the real road. You don't just go drive in front of your home. Go forward, go backward, turn a little bit, turn a little bit. You want to? Are you kidding? You want to use those kinds of experience to drive cross country, where you have no idea when you're going down to the hill how many miles there, and you have to turn corner. Okay. That's the analogy. So the bottom line is here. For these decades, many people who get into this internal art thing, thinking about this training of the force. And they never train what? They never train momentum, because momentum need to train in high speed and full force. How can you train all this in the slow with all this assumption to be able to use in the high speed of the momentum handling? You want to handle momentum, is speed, sorry. So momentum can be developed only in the speed. So when you, for example, you watch this Wing Chun movie when Donnie Yen played the stupid dummy. That's why the Taiwanese MMA guys say, if you want to play dummy that way, why might as well go beat the CPR dummy? Why? Because in the ancient time, our ancestors, when they play dummy, they go full force. they play full force, full speed, until they're smooth with it. That's how they develop the momentum. It's not like Donnie and bang, 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 bang. You're going to get nothing there because you never develop momentum handling. Okay? So, because Anand asked me about this thing, and friend in Thailand want to ask me via Anand on this, what is the facts? This is the facts. If you want your Wing Chun be able to fight, you better develop in high speed, full force, momentum. If you don't have it, sorry. 500 years ago, General Chi Guang already said it. If you cannot handle it, forget about it. You cannot handle the 4 region, the long fist, the short strike, the takedown, the ground. You don't have the full coverage. Sun Tzu 2,000 years ago already said it too. So, if we want to talk about Chinese traditional martial art, that's what it is. For Wing Chun, it's very, very critical. When he charge in, I charge in too. I charge in too. I'm not going to wait until you charge in. I'm dead. Okay? You see? I'm dead. I get pushed out if I'm waiting for him. But when he charge in, I'm going to charge in too. That is the timing. That is what is called I give in without give in. He want to come in, I let him get in. So I'm going to get him. This is reality. This is not movie, sir. So, number one, I don't like to promote violence. I don't like to promote aggressions. But for heaven's sake, don't put any of our Wing Chun brother and sister here on into those mysterious BS where you cannot deliver in, what is it, a stadium in Bangkok?
Lumpini or
Lumpini?
Lumpini or Ratchadamnana.
Yeah. When you cannot deliver in the Lumpini, better shut up, okay? You go check the record of 100 years. See, is there any martial internal guy who has this chi power defeat the Thai boxer there? That is the reality, and 500 years ago, General Chi Guang already tell you. And in the 1784, the Shaolin Short Strike book already tell you. The key is you have to train full speed, full force, until you get so good about it, and it is like a standard steel, it be able to be real flexible. It never is. Slowly and slap each other, those kind of stuff. It's not like that. Okay? So this is I like to share with you today. I know many people will not like this. But I talk the same thing even to the Asia forum and to everybody. Because if you want to deal with a cross country, you better know what is a cross country with it. As Wing Chun is from Shaolin, Shaolin have a rule. One practice every day, so one have a healthy body and good at the art. But one not supposed to bully other people. One not supposed to say, hey, shut up. Speak with your hand, don't speak with your mouth. That is violating the Shaolin rule. Okay? They kick you out from the temple right away if they do that. So, the reason I tell you this is this. We need to know what is the reality. However, we need to behave ourselves. We need to conduct ourselves, have a proper conduct so that we do not screw up the society and screw up ourselves. That is what the Modak is about. Okay? So, 500 years ago is like today's Silicon Valley. It's about technology. Like for example, the long fist distance, the short strike distance, the takedown distance, the ground distance, the zone, the long fist zone, the short strike zone, the takedown zone, that in the ground zone. If you have a complete technology, you better cover that up. And then you know your own, your sweet spot or your characteristics and what is your strength of your technology. Without that, there's no way you can do fighting. And all this strength and all this kind of thing, that's why I already make a summarize the definitions according to the ancient Chinese. That's what it is. If one have a good breathing, for sure one get healthier body. If one do, like for example, the train of the muscle and strength, externally train the bone, the muscle, like doing the squat and so forth, and you see in my channel, of course the body is more stronger, get healthier. And don't look at some kinds of magic power, okay? Everything like the Heart Sutra of the Zen Buddhism said, form is no different than emptiness. Emptiness is no different than form. Energy and physical, they are just a coin with two faces. There's no such thing as, you talk about energy, you're talking about this force which is beyond this body. Even the Buddha in the Heart Sutra don't say that. So I want you to say, I want you to see finally, from Sun Tzu, from General Qi Ji Guang, even to the Heart Sutra, everything is consistent. And where the world is this mysterious Qi power, internal and every come, you read Chinese history for past 100 years. Obviously, people still have the mentality of the boxer librarian. Believe it in body can handle bullets. The reason for that, simple. They do not know what is momentum. They do not know what is physics. So this is to share with you today. I hope that we need to wake up. If we love Wing Chun, we need to wake up. Because you know, in Taiwan, Wing Chun has been challenged by the MMA player. So, you know, as Shaolin rule of conduct, we don't want to fight, but we better make ourselves straight. Get ourselves straight. Yesterday is Tai Chi, tomorrow might be Wing Chun. However, if we strengthen ourselves, we educate ourselves, we get into reality, we stand solidly in the firm ground, nobody is going to challenge us. So it is not them, it is us. So this is to share with you today to all the friends around the world. And if you don't like my video, don't watch it. However, if you think what I'm saying today in this video makes sense, go do research. And also, please practice as a good Shaolin. You don't bully people. You don't ask for a fight because of ego. So this is to share with you today.